students, welcome to your new session. This is the practical class. So this class we are going to learn the third experiment in this semester, students. Okay. So previously under dichrometry we have done two experiments. Okay, and also you might have watched the videos that we have performed the experiment in the laboratory, right? Hope you enjoyed the videos. Fine. So now this today's experiment is iodometric titration, students, under which we have estimation of Cu+2 ions. So before going to look at that experiment, or before going into that experiment, what exactly is iodometric titration? Okay, so just students, this is just the introduction. If you want, you can write it in your notebook. Okay, it is not necessarily needed to write down in the observation book. If you want to know about iodometric titration, you can just note down these points. Okay, so in these iodometric titrations, generally iodine is used which acts as a mild oxidizing agent. I think you know the difference between strong and mild, right? Yes. So iodine acts as a mild oxidizing agent, and generally in iodometric titrations we observe that so generally what takes place? Reduction of free iodine. Okay, free iodine means I2 to iodide. Okay, iodide means I minus. So what is that called as? That is called as reduction. Okay, so reduction of free iodine to iodide and oxidation of I minus to I2 generally will be taking place in these titrations. Okay, so below I have given in the form of reaction also, and also students, in these titrations generally what happens is an oxidizing agent is made to react with the excess of iodide solution. Iodide solution, for example, Ki. What is Ki? Potassium iodide, and this takes place in neutral medium or generally acidic medium, and this is done to liberate free iodine gas. Okay, so in these titrations an oxidizing agent is allowed to react. So generally in the experiment we are going to see the oxidizing agent, that is K2Cr2O7, which is called as potassium dichromate. Okay, is allowed to react in neutral or acidic medium with excess of iodide solution. Brackets I have mentioned potassium iodide in order to liberate free iodine gas. Okay, now so below the reaction is mentioned here, students. Ki plus oxidizing agent gives us free iodine, and this free iodine will be titrated against sodium thiosulfite, which is commonly called as hypo, and it is a standard reducing agent, and generally by this method we estimate the amount of Cu+2 ions. So students, now put the heading estimation of Cu+2 ions. Under iodometry, you can put the side heading estimation of Cu+2 ions. Okay, so generally we begin with the aim of the experiment. Put the side heading aim and please underline. To estimate the amount of Cu+2 ions present in the given solution, iodometrically. Present in the given solution iodometrically. Full stop. Next comes principle. Principle. Put the side heading principle. Write down. When potassium iodide is treated with neutral or weakly acidic solution of copper sulfate. When Ki solution is treated with neutral or weakly acidic solution of copper sulfate, comma, copper sulfate. CuSO4 is copper sulfate, students, comma, iodine is liberated. Iodine is liberated and cuprous iodide is formed. Iodine is liberated and white cuprous iodide is formed. FORMED. Full stop. The liberated iodine dissolves in excess Ki solution, forming a brown colored solution. Full stop. Next sentence, students. This liberated iodine is titrated against standard hypo solution. Hypo is sodium thiosulfate, students. Standard hypo solution. Students, actually this hypo is a secondary standard substance, Okay, now this secondary standard substance should be standardized with the help of a primary standard solution. So next sentence I have given how this hypo is being standardized. Below write down. Standardization of hypo is carried out. By titrating against standard potassium dichromate solution. Students, we know about this potassium dichromate, which forms the primary standard solution. Okay, so in the previous two experiments we have learned that, right? So here also hypo is standardized by titrating with standard potassium dichromate solution using starch as the indicator. Okay, so in this experiment the indicator is starch. Full stop. Now comes the reactions. There are two sets of reactions for this experiment, students. So put number 1 and write down the first set of reactions. Ready? Right. K2Cr2O7 plus 6Ki plus 14 HCl gives rise to 8 KCl plus 2 CrCl3 plus 3I2 plus 7 H2O. Below. See, this liberated iodine is titrated with sodium thiosulfate, that is hypo. So 3I2 plus 6 Na2S2O3. Na2S2O3 is hypo, students. Sodium thiosulfate gives rise to 3 Na2S4O6 plus 6 NaI. 3I2 plus 6 Na2S2O3 gives rise to 3 Na2S4O6 plus 6 NaI. This Na2S4O6 is called as sodium tetrathionate. Next, adding these two reactions, students, we can write the final step. Write down K2Cr2O7 plus 6Ki plus 14 HCl plus 6 Na2S2O3. Left side, K2Cr2O7 plus 6Ki plus 14 HCl plus 6 Na2S2O3. 3I2 gets cancelled. Gives rise to 8 KCl plus 2 CrCl3 plus 7 H2O plus 3 Na2S4O6 plus 6 NaI. Till here is the first set of reactions. So, second set of reactions, number 2. 2CuSO4 plus 2Ki gives rise to CuI2 plus 2K2SO4. CuI2 plus K2SO4. Next, 2CuI2 gives rise to Cu2I2 plus I2. Next, I2 plus 2 Na2S2O3 gives rise to Na2S4O6 plus 2 NaI. Now add all these reactions, students. The final one we get it as 2CuSO4 plus 2Ki plus 2 Na2S2O3 gives rise to 2K2SO4 plus Na2S4O6 plus 2 NaI plus Cu2I2. Okay, so you have to practice a little more for this experiment, right? Okay, next below write down. Indicator is starch and end point is disappearance of violet color. So if you want, you can write the name of Na2S4O6, students. It is a sodium tetrathioate. So till here comes under principle. Have you noted down, students? The two sets of reactions. Indicator is starch and end point is disappearance of violet color. Completed? Yes. How many of you have nicely copied down the reactions from the board, students? Raise your hands in the comment section. Did somebody notice something? What is to be noted in such reactions? The reaction should be balanced. There should be a balanced reaction. Okay? So I made a mistake intentionally. If you can notice or not, okay, I did. So how many of you noticed? I appreciate them. Those who have not noticed, please kindly note down the changes. I am not going to read out the changes also. Noticed? I hope you changed, right? Okay, now let's move on to the procedure, students. Step 1, put the side heading, preparation of standard K2Cr2O7 solution. If you turn back your pages, first experiment and second experiment also, this is the same step. There also we have followed. That is preparation of standard potassium dichromate solution. Okay. Now, we all know that we weigh 1.47 grams of K2Cr2O7, dissolve it in distilled water in a 250 ml standard flask, make up the volume, shake well and calculate its molarity. This is the first step, students. Okay. Next comes the second step, standardization of hypo. So as I told you, hypo is the secondary standard substance and it is standardized by using standard K2Cr2O7 solution. So carefully write down the procedure, students. So write down in a conical flask, take 25 ml of water. So underline all the reagents that what we are adding here, students, that it will be easy for you when we are performing the experiment in the laboratory. Right? Okay? Right. Take 25 ml of water, add 10 ml Ki solution. Add 10 ml Ki solution and 4 ml of concentrated HCl. Take 25 ml of water in a conical flask plus 10 ml Ki and 4 ml concentrated HCl solution. Full stop. Pipette out 10 ml of standard K2Cr2O7 solution which we have prepared here in the first step. Pipette out. Previously, what did we do? We have taken standard K2Cr2O7 in the burette. Here we are not taking in the burette. Okay. So pipette out 10 ml of standard K2Cr2O7 solution. into the conical flask. Already in the conical flask there are 25 ml of water, 10 ml Ki and 4 ml of concentrated HCl. So into that we are dropping 10 ml of standard K2Cr2O7 solution. Come on, cover it with a watch glass. Cover it with a watch glass and keep it in dark. Keep it in dark for 5 to 10 minutes. For 5 to 10 minutes. Full stop. Okay. So after keeping it in dark for 5 to 10 minutes, then we should take it out. Take out the conical flask and wash the watch glass. Wash the watch glass and the sides of the conical flask into the conical flask. So we need to wash the watch glass and also sides of the conical flask, and all that water should drop into the conical flask only. Okay. Then take out the conical flask, wash the watch glass and the sides of the conical flask into the conical flask with the distilled water. Full stop. Now titrate. So all these are in the conical flask, students. Okay. Now this should be titrated against hypo. Titrate against hypo till it turns greenish yellow. Till it turns greenish yellow. Full stop. Okay. This is not the end point, students. Right now. Now add 1 ml of freshly prepared 1 ml of freshly prepared starch indicator. Freshly prepared starch indicator and continue the titration. We need to continue the titration, students. Once greenish yellow color is appeared, we need to add 1 ml of freshly prepared starch solution and continue the titration till the blue color disappears. Okay. So after adding starch, what happens? The greenish yellow turns into blue color. So when we are continuing the titration, later after some time, what happens? This blue color disappears. At this point, we need to note the burette reading. Full stop. Repeat the titration and calculate molarity of hypo. Full stop. Okay, students, this is the second step, that is standardization of hypo. Next, step 3. Step 3. Estimation of Cu+2 ions. Estimation of Cu+2 ions. Underline. Pipette out 10 ml of the given unknown Cu+2 solution. Given an unknown Cu+2 solution into a conical flask. So first we need to take a conical flask and into that drop 10 ml of the given unknown Cu+2 solution. Full stop. Add ammonium hydroxide drop by drop. Add NH4OH dropwise till a blue color precipitate appears. Full stop. Then add few drops of acetic acid just to dissolve the precipitate. Then add few drops of acetic acid just to dissolve the precipitate, and then add few more drops of acetic acid. Full stop. Next, add 2 test tubes of distilled water, 10 ml of Ki, cover it with a watch glass and keep it in dark for 5 to 10 minutes. Full stop. Then take out the conical flask, wash the watch glass and also sides of the conical flask into the conical flask with the distilled water. With the distilled water. Full stop. Now titrate against standardized hypo taken in the burette. Titrate against standardized hypo taken in the burette till it turns greenish yellow. Greenish yellow. Full stop. Now add 1 ml of freshly prepared starch indicator and continue the titration till blue color disappears. So a lengthy procedure, students. So is it looking clumsy? No, na? It's clear? Okay. So follow my words, ma. So once again I will repeat for you from here, students. Titrate against standardized hypo taken in the burette till it turns into greenish yellow color. Full stop. Now add 1 ml of freshly prepared starch indicator and continue the titration till blue color disappears. Till blue color disappears and a dirty white precipitate appears. Full stop. Repeat the titration and calculate the molarity. Repeat the titration and calculate the molarity. Full stop. Next, put the side heading result. The amount of Cu+2 ions. The amount of Cu+2 ions present in the given solution is equal to dash grams per liter. Okay. So now we will move on to observations and calculations, students. Put the side heading observations and calculations. And also please underline the side heading. Next. Step 1. Weight of the empty weighing bottle, comma, W1 equals to dash grams. Next, weight of the bottle plus substance is equal to W2 equals to dash grams. Next, weight of the bottle after transferring the substance, W3 equals to dash grams. Next, weight of the substance transferred, W2 minus W3 equals to dash grams. Therefore, molarity of K2Cr2O7 or molarity of the solution will be equal to weight by liter by molecular weight. Students, liter also will be in the denominator. Weight by liter into molecular weight is equal to W2 minus W3 by molecular weight of K2Cr2O7 294.18 into 1000 by 250. Okay, as we are making the solution in a 250 ml volumetric flask. So we will substitute the values, calculate, and whatever value we are getting, that will be your concentration or molarity of K2Cr2O7. Next, step 2. Write the reaction first. K2Cr2O7 plus 6I plus 14 HCl plus 6 Na2S2O3 gives rise to 8 KCl plus 2 CrCl3 plus 7 H2O plus 3 Na2S4O6 plus 6 NaI. Next comes the table. Take a pencil and scale. Write down. First column, serial number. Next, volume of K2Cr2O7. Next, burette readings, under which you have initial and final. Next, volume of hypo. Under serial number 1, 2, 3, volume of K2Cr2O7, we have taken 10 ml. So 10 ml, 10 ml, 10 ml. Initial reading 0, 0, 0. Final will be our burette readings. Okay. Next, below the table, formula students, M1V1 by N1 equals to M2V2 by N2. Below, K2Cr2O7 versus hypo. So below we will mention what this M1V1 N1, M2V2 N2 are. Write on M1 molarity of standard K2Cr2O7 equals to step 1 value V1 volume of K2Cr2O7 10 ml, N1 number of moles of K2Cr2O7 from the reaction is equal to 1. M2 molarity of hypo, which is to be calculated, is equal to question mark. Next, V2 volume of hypo, that will be our burette reading. Last, N2 number of moles of hypo from the reaction, it will be equal to 6. Okay, so check the reaction for number of moles of K2Cr2O7 and also hypo students. So with these values, we can calculate M2. So from the formula, M2 will be equal to cross multiplication students. M2 will be equal to M1 V1 N2 divided by N1 into V2 is equal to substituting the values. Whatever value you get, that will be the concentration of hypo. Next, step 3 students. Step 3. First write down the reaction. 2CuSO4 plus 4Ki plus 2Na2S2O3 gives rise to 2K2SO4 plus Na2S4O6 plus 2NaI plus Cu2I2. Okay. Below comes the table. Serial number, volume of Cu plus 2 ion solution. Next, burette readings, initial, final, and the last column, volume of hypo. Serial number 1, 2, 3, volume of unknown solution 10 ml, 10 ml, 10 ml, initial 0, 0, 0. Next, below the table comes M1 V1 by N1 equals to M2 V2 by N2. Below you can write down Cu plus 2 solution versus hypo. Below write down students M1 molarity of Cu plus 2 ions question mark. V1 volume of Cu plus 2 ion solution 10 ml. N1 number of moles of Cu plus 2 ions from the reaction 2. Next, M2 molarity of hypo, step 2 value. V2 volume of hypo, burette reading. N2 number of moles of hypo from the reaction, it is 2. Okay. Therefore, what is to be calculated? M1 is to be calculated. So, from the formula, M1 is equal to cross multiplication M2 V2 N1 divided by N2 into V1 is equal to, you will substitute all the values. So, whatever value we are getting after multiplication and after division, that will be the concentration of molarity of Cu plus 2 ions. Okay. So, once we get the molarity of Cu plus 2 ions, we will multiply with the molecular weight from which we get the amount of Cu plus 2 ions present in the solution. So, finally write down amount of Cu plus 2 ions is equal to molarity into 63.5 is equal to M1 into 63.5 is equal to dash grams per liter. So, this is about the procedure of estimation of Cu plus 2 ions and observations and calculations, students. So, first write down this everything in your observation book. Okay. So, later we will do the experiment in the laboratory and then we can substitute the values and we can calculate. Okay, students. So, we will meet in the next class with a new experiment. Until then, take care, stay safe and bye-bye.